All right, here comes Dave Portnoy,
So you
everybody.
just update him on like the
Do you want
texting
to
and the shit.
be a little more succinct?
Yeah.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, Dave.
Oh, that's the bad mic seat.
Nate and Kelly just got into a blow-up fight over radio. So, Nate and Kelly, yeah.
Yeah,
like,
I just
like you're bitter. Fuck you, Nate. I don't want to get a text message. Blah blah blah.
My patience wears thin with Nate,
Wow.
which I know you understand, and I don't think I realized that you did understand it, but you said it yesterday, and it made me feel better. He wants to be involved. There was an issue with Kevin calling like all of us and telling us all we were in charge of radio. Nate was one of those people.
I thought you guys chose like.
No. Kevin spoke to, like, he talked to me, he talked to Tommy, he talked to Francis, he talked
Roan.
to Nate, talked to Roan.
That everybody was like, I want
"It's
you
your
to
show."
take the show.
Got it.
And we were like, okay. And then from that point, it was like, all right, who's organizing it? Who's scheduling it? Like, who's figuring out whatever? And I just did that because nobody else was doing it. And Kevin wanted to start the switch over a lot faster than we thought. He wanted to do it like the next day. So he just did it. Nate is wanting to be very involved.
Of course. He wants to be a star. He
Right,
wants to
as
be
we
front
learned
of camera. He has front of camera disease, which he's had forever. And you know, like what he did yesterday is he's very good at. Like that's what people want. So I don't know if he was screaming in here earlier.
So Pat, explain why.
That's great.
Explain
like that's
what,
probably great radio.
Yeah.
The problem is I don't just say he wants to be Walter Cronkite. Like he wants people to enjoy him the way he wants to be enjoyed.
Yes.
So he doesn't want to be like his value is when he's the spider monkey and out of control and freaking out. Like you go all the way back when he went to Vegas with Smitty, he tried to burn the footage he didn't want that released. Like Smitty released that against his will because he didn't like the way he's portrayed. So as long as he wants to be portrayed as, 6'4", muscles, the funniest guy in the room, and everyone's like, gee, that Nate, he's a hilarious, like awesome looking, like great guy. He's not. And he's this annoying spider monkey that I want to buy a birdcage for, the world needs ditch diggers too. Like he is good at being an editor. So there's always, if you're not doing what you should be doing, which is writing blogs, editing, things like that, like that's what you're hired for. Like it just takes away when you're doing other stuff. I know he's never going to be a successful content person. It's just not happening. And that's not to be mean to him. He doesn't have that in his bag. I do have a question on this show. How much, like, work do you do before you sit down in the chairs? Like, I honestly, when I was on with you two the other day, I thought it was awful.
Oh, okay.
Like, I thought
on the phone?
Yeah, I thought it was awful.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't like my question about?
I thought there was, like, almost no forethought. It was the first time I had talked since Erica left. And I thought it was like...
I don't think
in
I
our
realized
defense,
that, to be
our defense, we struggled with knowing that she had not done her announcement yet, and it was not clear how much we were allowed to disclose about
she did.
Erica leaving.
She
did.
She had, and she did her thing.
Because
but
you
by the
had
time
the
we talked
speech to the company.
No,
No. By the time we talked to him, she had. But
because she asked the day before,
yeah,
and I'm like, I want to wait till Erica talks. And Erica talked, and I came on the next day. For Barstool Radio, I'm sure, like in my mind, I think part of the problem why I haven't done shows, it's like, and I've said it, I don't like I feel using Dan, not to do Chicago, New York, one of his very good traits is he somehow, whether it be pardon my take, yak, whatever, they are like prepared with like bits, get segments, things like they know. Whereas if you just sit down and go, it's hard to like build. So like for that on an interview, I'm like, oh, those were like not great questions to me on like really, I literally hadn't spoken about it yet.
So
like
I didn't realize you hadn't spoken about it, and now I have regrets. But I do think that moving forward for radio, we're trying to do it a little more structured like that, where it's planned out and it's not quite just an hour-long conversation of people talking nonstop. I think trying to figure out the right mix of people to do that with is what we've been doing the past 2 weeks.
I do think the dynamic, there's something interesting there, but I don't think you can just sit down and be like I don't know who's making these for.
These are not, no, we haven't talked about anything. These are just kind of like loosely what's going on in case we need something to talk about. But I feel like the past couple of weeks, we've tried to be a little more conversational. Again, trying to like fall into a rapport, I am at my core a segment person. I'm constantly trying to make a schedule, make a segment situation like almost in an annoying way. I need the balance between like fun and every 15 minutes something starts. Like I just like a.
It doesn't have to be that structured. It just was more to me like I know that's part of what I felt with Dave Portnoy shows. Like I was just sitting down and we're just going, and there wasn't thought put into like what the show should be. So I don't know.
I feel that.
Maybe the dog is that thought.
Maybe the dog is that.
Editing.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's the editor of our blog.
Yeah.
That's a full-time job. He looks in the mirror, he sees Brad Pitt. I mean,
yeah.
Are you going to watch on Friday?
You're going to watch him? You got to watch on Friday, right?
Yeah, I'll probably pay a little attention. But I mean, I like Nate, and I hate him. Like,
yeah.
Is it 50-50? Is it more love or more
most of the time I hate. But, like...
I guess the most love you know it's hate.
But it's always been that way, you know? It's been like he's just an interesting cat. But I'm glad he's our weirdo, and he means well, and I think he'd like die for the company. But he's delusional. Delulu. He is Delulu.
Yeah. There's a lot of Delulu floating around, you know?
Yeah,
myself included.
He's truly Delulu. Mm-hmm. Like, I know he thinks he knows better than I do everything about this company. Like, everything he knows what to do better than I do. I know he knows.
Really think that? He thinks he could run this place better than you?
100. He is Dwight Schrute. I mean, he quite literally is Dwight Schrute reincarnated.
What has he said to you that's made you
like that? I can't
think
tell.
that, like... That's led you to believe that
famous.
I'm second in command at this company.
Well, no, but there's the famous when we were doing year-end reviews. He sat down for an hour and a half and didn't mention his name once and just criticized every single person in content. He's like, "This is what they're doing wrong. This is what they're." It's like his review, very Nate.
Did he hit people in the room?
Right.
He got all of us.
He hit every single person. Of course,
it was like every person he had
years ago. Yeah,
this is 3 years ago.
Yeah, this is a while. I've talked about it a lot. He got mad when I talked about it, but. That's Nate.
I feel bad. So, like when he was in here, lashing out, I felt bad.
Why?
Like,
I don't feel bad about the lash out
he was like,
I
felt like he was like a dog,
that.
like backed. Well, that's funny. He was like a dog backed into a corner, and like everyone is just like going at Nate. And I'm like, Jesus, should I be?
Were we going? We weren't going at Nate. We were said. I was yelling. I was mouthing off before he came in here because he was pretending like he's like, I'm not going to come on radio unless they ask me to. And I said, well, we're not going to fucking beg you to come on. That's exactly. I said, I'm not going to fucking beg you to come on.
Yeah. Oh, this. We've gone through all of this. When we were doing Barstool Radio, he would do this exact song and dance where he'd act like he didn't want to come in. He'd be walking back and forth. Then you get him in. He wouldn't leave. But listen, he wants to be front of camera.
I think he could have come in here and we could have been promoting for this big Friday show all week. Like
over and over. People forget, I started Dave Walks to Work to prove a point. Where he was doing all this stuff. It's like, dude, I can walk to work and put the camera on and I will get a quadrillion more views. And I just start walking to work. We have done this over. He's like, oh, because he was saying how many listeners or people or something.
I remember that during the pandemic on his roof. And you were like,
oh, yeah.
Try it. You were like, everyone should be trying things and doing this and whatever. And then Nate tried something and you were like, no.
Well, he had like 4 views.
I feel like part of you, like deep down, part of you is like, I would rip one episode of Dave and the Dog. It doesn't have to be like a consistent thing. Just maybe one time you get in there with Nate and be like, all right, show me what the fuck you got, Nate. Friday radio. Yeah. Give me your real opinions. Where it's almost like a reverse.
I would do like a one Dave and the Dog. Again, I don't.
One episode I think is good. And then if it's fantastic, then maybe a month later you do another one. And then it kind of builds up from there.
We give him these flashes, like when he did the awards show roast speech.
Great.
Fantastic.
But then he took that and has, on a weekly basis, come to me and been like, I'm pretty sure I need to be doing stand-up and like getting involved. And I've written a couple jokes. And I'm like, let's hear him. And then he's like, well, I fucked my dead grandmother's eyeballs.
Yeah.
Corpse, like, come. And then I'm like, I don't know, man. That's a little out there.
Oh no.
He probably just heard that you committed to a Dave and the Dog.
The soft commit to Dave and the Dog?
I got a soft commit for a Dave and the Dog, a pilot episode.
What would you guys talk about if not for me? That's my question. This has been all of yesterday, all of today. All you guys can do is not get my name out of your mouth, especially your mouth.
Well, I just did a podcast. I was coming in and they said you guys had a explosion today in here.
You had a lot you wanted to get off your chest about me, not to me, though.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? You
I
know
had
exactly
nothing.
what I'm talking about.
I had nothing to get. I haven't said
All of a
anything
sudden, it
new.
was the Nate Bash hour, and I
haven't said
don't
anything
blame
new.
you guys for continuing to turn it back to me when Dave's in here saying that this show is unprepared and this show's bad and your interview.
Well, that
sucked.
wasn't about you.
I don't blame you. No, I don't blame them for turning it back.
Also,
on
we
I was trying to get you a Dave and the Dog, and I did. I got you a soft
Dave
Dave and the
wanted
Dog.
to do Dave and the Dog. Dave would
He
do
said
Dave
he
and the
would
Dog.
2 seconds
If Dave
ago.
wanted to do Dave and the Dog, Dave
you
would do
do?
Dave and the
I'll
Dog.
do it in one episode.
He's doing
Okay.
one episode.
Yeah.
There it is.
Someone's
you
checking
go.
the bottom line. Someone needs the Heinen
Wait,
sponsorship.
You're so delusional. I was doing my fucking podcast, walking
welcome.
Which one?
back.
The teenage one?
Yeah, BFFs.
Okay.
Yeah. I was walking back in,
Great, France.
and they said you had an explosion when I come on Barstool Radio. I've not said one thing new about you in here.
I'm saying you just read off the list like you're
truth.
undo the list and you go, oh, what happened 9 years ago that I can
9
bring up?
years?
What happened 7 years ago that I can bring up? No, I get it.
Do you want to be in front of camera?
I get the bit. I feel like
issue.
what's the issue?
I think it's he wants you to fully commit to Spider Monkey.
But isn't that the fun of it? Is that I do what I want and then you say what you want and then I say what I want and round we go? Isn't that the fun of it all?
I don't know.
Is it for you?
Isn't that the fun of the content company that we don't even know who's living in what gray area and what's real and what's not and what's fake and what's real? Is that not the fun of it, Dave?
I'm lost. No, I don't know what you're referring to.
All of a sudden you're lost.
What do you mean?
Big enough glasses on, you can find it, Dave. You know exactly what I'm saying, you old fuck.
This is an advertiser.
Oh, they look great.
Thank you.
What's the promo code?
Why are you going after his age?
What's the
Yeah.
promo code?
Great. Do you think I've held you back from being in front of camera?
I don't think you have necessarily held me back, but I think you understand that you have a lot of control on how I'm perceived, and everybody's perceived. If you want someone to succeed, you elevate them more, you push them more, you say more good things about them. You say, oh, they're talented, they're the next this, they're the next that, even if they're not. With me, and I think it's because I've been here for a very long time, employee number 9, no equity, I think with me, you know what buttons you can push, and you know that I'll go back at you, you'll go back at me, and we have this rapport. You don't have that with everybody, which is great. But I do think you like to make yourself laugh. You like your gestures. You like your, what do you call it? Weird brains. You like that, and you don't want to lose them. So if you
Do you think I'm scared
someone,
of losing you, so I've held you back from
I think
content?
you like keeping
that what
your
you're saying?
gestures. You like keeping your gestures in a line, and you don't like.
That you are certifiably insane.
Have I said anything inaccurate?
Yes, all of it.
No, incorrect. Well, of course you're going to say that.
Well, no, I let me rephrase.
Sure.
I like being able to bust balls with you. I like the bullpen gestures, whatever you want to say. If I thought you could be a star or bring in money as a front of camera person, that would be great. The fact you think I've held you back from that is delusional.
I don't know if it's so much held back, but you definitely don't want. There's people you don't want to see succeed.
That's just not true.
I think it's true.
Smitty, maybe? Like, honestly, who wouldn't I want to see succeed?
It's whatever you feel that day. You wake up some days and you just are in a bad mood and you stop people from elevating.
Who else other than Smitty?
I mean, on this.
Well, but that's just not true.
With one tweet, you can change the entire internet's perception of people. True or false?
Is it the internet or Twitter's perception?
False.
It's the internet. I don't know.
I feel like you're putting a lot more stock in like
But you're
little
being
jokes.
delusional.
he
I'll tell you
makes.
how. The people who rise to success here is because of their talent. It's not because of me being like this. If I say someone's I think going to be successful, I think they are. But they don't become because I say I don't king make the people here. Look who are the wild stars here,
Dave.
or graduated from here. Whether it's a McAfee, an Alex Cooper, a Big Cat, all these people are wildly talented. Why do you think you can be in front of camera?
Of course well, here's the thing. Whenever I am in front of the camera, what do? I steal the show. You can go all the way back to my first year here. You can go all the way back. The Travis Pastrana Indy 500, who stole the show? Me. The Katie Nolan Dog Show, who stole the show? Me. We did a DraftKings commercial for the app. Who was the star of the show? Me. When we fast forward to the fucking the 20th anniversary show. Who? God damn it, that show sucked. But who stole the show? I did.
You're
Survivor. Who was the star of the show? I was.
Survivor. You were on there for 4
Survivor
seconds.
was like your
Yeah,
poorest
most
showing
important
maybe
part.
of all time.
But Nate, you say all this, every example you've mentioned have been, for the most part, people laughing at you, not.
Which is fine.
No, it isn't, because then at the same breath you'll be like, you hold me back with these tweets. So what is it? Like,
It's fine that
you just bragged about how you've stolen shows and done all
Yeah.
this. They're all in a manner where it's like, that crazy Nate.
That's
but then
great.
you get
That's
mad.
great. That's
No,
great.
you just
That's
said I
great.
hold you back.
that's great.
But how could I hold you back if that's
I
what
said
you're-
holding me back is bad verbiage. I already ran that one back. I already took
But-
that one back.
But you're saying like
I
a
can't keep
tweet
saying I said that when I
negative.
took it back. I took that back.
Nobody has
Dave, I
been-
took that back.
Nate, nobody has been more pro Spider Monkey than me.
Okay.
Okay, so then I'm helping you, but you haven't embraced that.
I
But then you brag about it. It's like, look at all these high moments. Then you'll go, I don't want to be like talent like that. I don't want people to laugh at me like that. I don't want that to be who I am. But that's the moments that you have catapulted.
yeah,
Like,
and
you
I knock those moments out of the park.
What moments where you have been intentionally trying to be funny have worked?
I don't know, like 50,000 blogs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
And then when I hop in front of the camera, I steal the show, and then round and round we go.
You're kind of saying what I'm saying.
We can do this forever.
Unfortunately, I know you can do this forever. I cannot. The Smitty footage in Vegas, did you want that released?
The Smitty footage, no. That's a good example.
Thank you.
It's a good example.
The other day when
The most
the
famous.
other day when you went out of your way to
Other time I
say
stole the show. You're right.
Yeah, but it's
I forgot about that. God, there's so many. I can't even keep track of them all, Dave.
you're saying both. You didn't want this to be released.
Dave, when you're right, I can say that you're right. I don't have this like crazy
So what
ego
am I
like
wrong
you do.
about?
I can say when you're
What
right.
am I wrong about in this conversation?
I think we're both right. I think we're saying the same thing.
Which is what?
That I'm a great writer. When I'm in front of the camera, I steal the show. That you want me to always be the Spider Monkey. I don't want to always be the Spider Monkey. But when I am, it's great. And I elicit reaction. And that's why I've been here forever. And that's why you should give
Not why
me
you've been
equity.
here forever.
What?
That's not why you've been here forever.
Because I'm talented.
You're a good writer of
Yeah.
the blog. Yeah, you're the
Right.
editor of the blog. It's an important position.
Right. I agree.
So, then I don't know what we're disagreeing then.
We're always on the same wavelength. It's
So then
crazy.
you should not be in front of camera.
I should be. I should be.
Why?
Because then you get moments like this. I'm not saying I'm you. I'm not saying I'm Big Cat. I'm not even saying that I'm Kelly Keegs. I'm not even saying any of that. I'm saying that when we're doing our thing and we're doing the pick and roll and the 3-man weave, I can shine just like everybody else here. The team. Anybody can be a star. Your words, not mine.
I'm not going to be able to use that anymore.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
you
God.
really
You've been
can't.
using it
You
every
can't.
day for 12 years.
I'm not going to be
I
able
won't
to
take it
do
seriously.
Dave, you know the
Go
scene
away.
in The Office?
You ruined that fucking painting.
No, you ruined it 8
You
years
ruined it.
ago. You ruined
You
it
ruined
8 years.
it.
We
You
all
ruined
make
it.
fun of it, Dave.
You ruined it.
Everybody makes
No,
fun of it.
you make fun of it. You
Everybody
make
makes fun of it.
You make fun of
Everybody
it.
makes it. Everybody makes
You
fun of
ruined
it.
There's
No,
the painting.
not true.
There it is.
Where is it?
It's on the screen.
Oh, there it is. No, you always make fun of it. You make that joke all the time, like, oh, put the glitter in
No,
the star,
there's
and
like
we're
a-
all like,
there's like-
ha.
He
ha.
feels like he's getting no glitter.
No, there's a pop
You-
in The
you-
Office
you-
when you bring it up at meetings. There's like a Stone Cold Steve Austin.
You ruined
pop.
it.
I'm glad.
I'll never
I
do
am,
it again.
I am so glad I ruined
Or
it.
I'm going to do it again and say excluding Nate.
No, everybody knows that.
Not you.
My star has no glitter.
Correct.
You package it up and give it to the mean girl.
You just want a little. You just want a little glitter.
It never had glitter. I looked for the glitter. The glitter was gone.
You gave it to Woodruff and Bennett. I know what you did with my glitter.
Would you give him? You're gonna give him a little pinch of glitter.
He would.
Yeah, I'm like little Oliver Twist. Please, sir, a little glitter, just a little glitter, Dave.
give
One
me glitter.
like a morsel of glitter.
It would be a ignorant waste of glitter.
Yeah.
What if it was infinity?
Uh,
What if I was
Infinity
blonde?
glitter.
If there was
What if I was a blonde-haired girl? Then what? A little glitter?
But you're using this analogy. Using Alex Bennett.
Blame Gaz, right?
What are you talking about?
Just for the constant boosting of them. They're superstars.
I think Alex Bennett could have been.
And this isn't a shot at them. It's just like
Well-
no. You pick and choose. You pick and choose who to give
What
glitter
do
to.
We gave glitter. I've given. You want to go blonde women that I've given glitter to? Jenna Marbles,
Marbles, Cooper.
Alex Bennett, Cooper.
Yeah.
Worked out okay for 2 of the 3.
For them, yeah.
Two of the biggest female stars in the digital age.
Yeah, Marbles.
Yeah. But you'll be like, Alex Bennett was here less than a year.
More
You were here 11 years. 11 years.
1 year 11.
11 years.
Employee 9.
Like, you are what you are, which isn't bad.
That's what I started with. That's what
You'll go back. We've had this discussion, and we go around, but you'll be like, nope, I can't.
What we're doing right now is who I am, Dave.
Oh, my God.
This is who I am.
We've had this discussion so many times, and you'll go back.
It's the best.
Eventually, put a clock on it when Nate hit pout mode, where he's like, nope, I'm just editor guy because your content fails. We've given you the chance. Just because I like you. You've earned the chance to fail.
I like you.
What's that?
I like you, too.
Thank you. You should.
Yeah.
I also think the one thing you're ignoring is that
you're
probably you, that you're saying that like every time you mix it up with Dave, it's electric.
Yeah.
I think that's like saying every time I play with
Basketball,
Michael Jordan,
Yeah, I knew you were
I
gonna go
play
there.
well. Like
Yeah,
anytime I'm with
here's
Big
the thing.
Cat, it's good content.
Who else will do with Dave what I do with Dave? You won't. You won't. You won't.
You don't.
I do. I'll yell back at you.
Actually, you do.
And then you get, and then you
Right.
get
No, you're right.
pissed, and then you get personal about it, which I don't like when you get personal about
on a
it.
sustained like
Or
level.
never mind that. It's like, what happens when it's not this? Like, what's your median?
But isn't that the fun part of it? When you're in the office, shit goes off. It's fun.
I don't even concern with you fighting.
No, I think we're all agreeing here.
I feel like
Yeah,
I feel like
I've
I'm
always
getting.
thought when you're the spider monkey, it's entertaining.
Are we doing another award show? Will there be a part 2?
Oh, good question.
21st.
I don't believe we are.
Because we did the Duncan Awards for a while, then that dropped, and then we did the big one, the
Correct.
20th.
I know what the award show
And
are.
so, are we bringing back
I don't believe so.
smaller Dundee's version?
Mm.
It was fun. That's why I asked.
I don't
So
believe
how do we put? How
Have you been writing jokes for it already?
We have.
Oh, good. So then you can perform them on a Nate Friday, no?
No, I'll wait till a bigger event.
Okay. Well,
So how do we put a button on this? Is it,
What about the thought of you're the editor? Like, every second you're not editing or like running the blog takes away from the blog.
That's my top priority, of course.
Well,
My job is my top priority.
I'm not sure that answered that. Like, if you're in the office on a Friday and you're doing this radio, all this, you're not doing what your top priority is.
Sure, but there's a team, and we work very well together, and I trust the team of myself, Clem, and Hubs to handle that 1 hour I'm doing radio on Friday. I don't think that... No concern there.
Okay.
We appreciate it, though. And thank you for blogging more often. It's good for numbies.
will we see you on Fridays?
Did it again.
all right. So it sounds like we have
Being like, I'm an electric factory. And while it can be good, he walks out thinking he's Michael Jordan. That is the issue.
It's just the best numbies on social, on radio, on Rumble that we can get. Dave and the dog.